WallBall worldwide. Any ball, I'll take you. Jay Sanchez.
How long you been doing streaming?
I don't remember. It's been probably about maybe 7, 8 years, something like that. The WallBall worldwide's been around, and then prior to that, we were just doing, like on our personals for a couple of years before that.
Yeah, like what, Facebook streaming?
Yeah, Facebook streaming. It's like a lot of people do, but then, we didn't want just to always have to be posting on our personal accounts. So that's kind of how the genesis of this happened. So I was like, we're going to be Team WallBall worldwide. That kind of blew up into what eventually became us becoming like a broadcaster of games, commentator of games, broadcasting from multiple countries, multiple tournaments throughout this country. That's how people, kind of got to know us.
And how long you been doing that?
So maybe like 7, 8, 9 years, I don't know.
Okay.
Something like that.
But as like everybody else, you started off as handball players, right?
Handball, I've been playing, I retired when I was playing for 38 years. That was 2 years ago. So in handball, it's about 40 years. I started when I was around 11 years old.
In New York?
In New York, in the Bronx. Castle Hill, that's my park. 127. Right, so I grew up there. I went to 127 as a kid, my junior high school, and that's where I came up. That's where I played, and that was a dangerous place to play back then. Also, Matthews Park in Morris Park, Bronx Park East is one of the courts that I used to kind of come up with, and of course, everybody played at West Hall.
Because you've been in the game way longer than me. I'm part of the new generation. I'm just getting introduced to everybody. Whose primes were you in?
I don't want to say, but Angel Marquez zipped me when I was 14. Okay, so if you know Angel Marquez, he's one of the GOATs, right? So I go back that far. See, but let me put it like this. I started playing in the 90s. We didn't give a fuck whose name you was, who was next. So it wasn't like we were keeping track of who we played with or who was back then, at least as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there were certain pockets of people that were, but like in Castle Hill, we were our own little ecosystem. All we cared about was what was going on right there. And people from the outside would come in and play us. And if we wasn't playing there, we was playing on 106 on the other side, or we was playing in Orchard Beach with a lot of people. And there's a lot of people coming and going. So you guys have the benefit of this new era where everybody kind of knows who each other are. You can see who you are on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and things like that. We didn't have that luxury. So I might play a guy and have a good game. We have good camaraderie, and I never see that person again in my life. So that's kind of how it was back then.
So who were the top players in Castle Hill, would you say?
We had this dude named White Boy Tommy.
Okay.
White Boy Tommy. I never seen anybody pop more balls in my life. It's White Boy Tommy. That was my dude. And there was another big dude named Carlos. I don't know. Again, my memory, this is like when I'm 14, 15, 16, 17 that I played out there. I played basically my whole high school. And then, after that I left, and until I came back later in my 20s, after like college and all that, I started playing. Coming out, I was at the end of the pink ball era, so I played a little bit of pink ball, Spalding ball. I'm like at the very end of that, talking like 86, around 86, 88, Another top court I played with is 161st, Yankee Stadium. That was that was a hot spot on Friday nights, Saturday nights. All them courts, man, people hanging out and, party. That was our thing. And again, I don't remember anybody I played with over there. I just know I had crazy good games. And we walk in the court, we would know people just by face. I wasn't asking people what their names were. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
It was a totally different era. Back then, we was too cool to be asking for shit like that. Cool. It was like you seemed like a Herb or a Punk or something. If you ask, hey man, what's your name, dude?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Nah, we wasn't like that. Yeah, we wasn't like, what, you want to take me on a date? It wasn't like that. So we'd be like, all right, respect, and just move on. Who Got Next? And if you haven't heard the song Who Got Next, look it up. It's on YouTube. It's got Who Got Next by Lord Sin, WallBall Worldwide, executive produced by me.
So you grew up around handball. Did your family play handball too?
My mom played handball. My dad played handball, but he was more of a stickball player.
Okay.
Right? So that's where I get my arm from, is from my dad, because he was a baseball player.
But so what gravitated you towards handball then? Like mainly handball?
Number one hood sport. I went to 127, right? Junior high school 127. So when we're in the lunchroom, the handball court is literally right there, like right where that gate is. That's where the court is. All we had to do is walk through the door. So if you wanted to do something aside from staying in the lunchroom, you went to the handball court, right? You know what I mean? So we had a ball, we would play, we'd get like a half an hour game in. And that was the street sport. And that was like, it was like where the ghetto fabulous people would hang out. It was more of a social thing back then. than as competitive as it is now.
Right.
Like the skill level was high, don't get me wrong, but it was more like a social thing. We were hanging out, people chilling, music playing, everybody, because this is before social media. They don't exist. So it's more about us just like having a place common place for everybody to come and meet and chill. I'd be in 127 from like in the summer, from like 11 in the morning to like maybe 7:30 at night when the sun went down. I was there all day.
You moved out of New York now, right?
Yeah, I've lived in California now going on 20 years now.
20 years.
Yeah.
What made you move to Cali?
Good weather. Yeah, good weather and opportunity.
What's the difference between New York handball and where you're at right now?
So in Cali, they primarily play 3-wall, right? So the Cali players are very dangerous because it's not easy to take away it's easier to take away the walls for them than for a 1-wall to add the walls. If you get what I'm saying. Okay? As you're a 1-waller, you're playing in one dimension, right? Basically one dimension. 3-wallers play in 3 dimensions. So their ability to adapt it's very high. They have a very high adaptability.
So from 3-wall to 1-wall is an easier transition?
It's easier transition. I think 3-wall is a harder game to master.
I would agree with that. I think 3-wall is a harder game to master. But I've seen some cats that play 3-wall and they try to transition to 1-wall and they're hitting kind of the same way they're hitting like a 3-wall shot. But guess what? The wall's really not there. But it's interesting you say the transition could be actually easier.
It's primarily with the setup. When you're setting up in 1-wall, you're setting up for a power shot. People typically set up like this, power shots. In 3-wall, you have to be more on your toes and have the ability to move back and forward more easily. So you're not powering and loading up for kills. And you're not going in head first. They go up, head up to get to the ball.
That's true.
So it's a different approach. But don't get it twisted. They can kill the ball with the best of them. It says that they're looking for the setup. They're trying to set you up.
You think there's a bigger crowd in Cali than in New York?
No. In New York, you have the most collection of neighborhood parks. Right? So you have different neighborhood parks. So at any given time in New York City, there's going to be a lot more people playing than even any of the biggest crowd that we may have in certain places in Cali.
It's kind of interesting
just because of the volumes, right?
When I see the Cali videos, that people playing 3-wall, and even right here, now,
they're all concentrated in one spot.
Yeah, it seems like a bigger crowd compared to New York crowd.
Let's say, for example, when you're in New York, you have a tournament in one place. There may be 3 or 4 other tournaments going on somewhere else in the city.
That's true.
That don't happen in Cali. Everybody kind of coordinates with each other. So, you know what I mean? We have to check the calendar. Do I got a spot? There's not as many of us, so we try to stick together more. So the difference in Cali is just regional, where you have like Northern California, where I'm at, San Jose, Campbell, and then you have Southern California, which is, LA and that area. And then in the middle, you also have Fresno, which is hot as hell tournament. And that's another hot spot where they got some crazy players, like Nacho, Silverback, Fern, you know what I mean? So they got some good players too there. Like you have some people that accomplished players, like early today, we had Phenom here, my primo, my nephew, David Sanchez, right? A lot of people don't know. He's won all the codes in under 18. He's Cali. He's from Stockton. He won 1-wall in New York. He won 3-wall. He won every code. He's like the most decorated young youth player of his generation. Yeah, Cali got ballers, and Stockton got some major ballers. There's a couple guys here from Stockton, and them guys got it.
What do you think will be more marketable, 3-wall or 1-wall or 4-wall?
4-wall we already know, right? 4-wall is ready out there. It's TV friendly with the glass cords and the cameras inside the wall. So
let's say 3-wall versus 1-wall. What'll be more marketable?
Yeah, I think 1-wall, because you can see from every angle. Unless you get the setup with the glass
and the wall,
the wall, which is very difficult. It's hard to see in the corners. And there's some really amazing shots, diving shots and whatnot in 3-wall, which sometimes it's hard to see those shots. You know what I mean? Because they're so deep.
Yeah.
Like if you ever watch like the first Golden Ticket finals with Chava and Oscar, which is one of the greatest games I've ever seen in person. That's what the soul clap one. Everybody knows that one with the soul clap and the shit comes off of him, Chava. There's a lot of amazing shots that you really had to zoom in on to see them because they're playing so close, so it's a little bit harder to see. But I think that also in terms of like ease of entry, the WallBall is an easier game. You know, because I'm a big international person, right? So I go to other countries to play, and that's a much more easier thing to get set up. Like UK WallBall, right? That's my people. UK WallBall, Euro WallBall. They've set up, I think there are over 90 schools that they've set up, you know, out in the greater London area, where they're setting up courts in gymnasiums and schools just with tape. And with tape and getting people to start playing. So, you know, it's an easier game to get going.
So you travel a lot for handball. How come? Like, are you just traveling just for the love of the sport, or you're traveling and participating, or like you're traveling and having fun? Like, what? How does that work?
Kind of both. You know, I love the game. I played in several countries. You know, the last one I played was Japan. Right?
I've been wanting to go to Japan for that.
Japan, cool. They got ballers.
But they only got 4-wall, no?
Shout out to Dice K and Yutaka. They got ballers. No, they play 1-wall too. But not in Tokyo. Tokyo's 4-wall.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have a 1-wall facility. The 1-wall is about 2 hours outside of Tokyo.
So you went to Japan and played some 1-wall?
Yeah, I played 4-wall because I couldn't go that far.
In Tokyo.
Yeah, I played in Tokyo. Yeah, and, you know, I'm not a 4-waller, but any wall, I'll take you. You know what I mean?
That's
I'll play
fire.
you. I'm not saying I'm a great player, but I'll play you. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a good game.
So you already touched up on how WallBall Worldwide got created. But how's the journey been? Like, how's the you started it, now is this thing, everybody knows it, like you've been doing it for a while. Like, how's the journey of being handball?
The journey's great. I mean, the journey's great, you know, because you know, it was never about us. Right, Carlos and I, it was never about us. It was always about other people and, you know, kind of channeling our own experience and what we think other people experience, like wanting to see the game, wanting the game to be presented in a more like somewhat as best we can do professional format. You know, have people talking about what's going on. Hey, what's the score? Like sometimes you watch the game, you're like, yo, what's going on here? I have no idea what's going on when somebody is alive. So we wanted to present it in a more, you know, palatable way that people would enjoy sitting there and watching it, get some popcorn and be like, damn, you know what I mean? It's a good game because they're listening to us. They're watching everything that's going on, you know, and we also made it to be a bridge between, the game outside of New York City. Because living in California, no one would ever really look at us. No one would ever acknowledge us. And it was even worse for what was going on in Europe. You know, I would go to Europe and play. I'm like, man, you guys are an amazing organization that no one's talking about in the States. Because either they just don't know or they're disregarding it. So we started using the WallBall Worldwide platform as to promote WallBall handball outside of New York. Everything that was happening outside of New York. We, you know, developed relationships. And I think that was the best part. Like you said, the journey, the best part of it is meeting the people along the way. You know, meeting the people in, you know, places like, you know, London and Valencia, Spain and Portugal, you know, where I was the coach. You know, I coached the guys in Portugal. That's tremendous for me because I have the opportunity to impact new players on a very fundamental entry level and hopefully inspire them to keep on going, you know. And so that was our main, like, you know, motivation was expose the game in other parts of the world.
So, let me ask you, right? For a friend of mine just the other day asked me, like, hey, yo, you do a lot of edits. I need to pick your brain. And I said, what's up? And he's like, I want to get a bunch of cameras, but I want to know your opinion on where to put these cameras on a tournament. So, we got to sit down and we talked about it, but I want to hear your opinion first. Like, what are like some of the best angles can you get the most coverage of the sport?
I think it really depends on your phone, right?
Well, we're not talking about phones. We're talking about like actual cameras. Well, like, I mean, we're talking about the most production value you could get and to produce a good handball game.
Well, I'll put it this way. Like I have used other high-end cameras. Some of the high-end cameras don't do as well with capturing the speed of action, right? Even though you're doing 60, you know, and they just don't kind of capture the nuance. You know, I think for the purpose of what we're doing with streaming and talking to an audience, it's better to do it on a phone. You know, it's better to do it on a phone because just of that technical ease of it, right? Put up your go live and just go. You know, so when we've done our games over the years, Like I'm mostly an iPhone user, and Carlos is mostly Android.
Yeah.
So we had different cameras and different lenses, so we had different perspective. I'm more straight on. I want the shot straight on. I want it right dead central, and I want it about chest level. So if you're standing up, I want it to be about right here where I'm seeing out. Because I feel like it gives you you feel like you're more immersed in the game, where you feel like you're actually like on the long line. That's why I want the kind of people to feel like they're on the long line, that they're in the game. And then position wise, hey, you got to be a few feet back, so you don't get, become part of the game. We did a lot of that with mics. So you see us off camera, we are on mics off, like further away, so we can get even closer without actually being right in on the line.
What other angles can you work on, get on the game?
I mean, this.
I'm talking about like effective ways, not just like, oh, this person done that, this person done that.
Down the line is a great one. I mean, however you can do it. I mean, if somebody can put one on the top of the wall, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing if we could get it. But it's I think we haven't seen the maximum of the potential of what was possible. Because I know people have talked about like Nietzsche at one point talked about putting multiple cameras and kind of editing it. But you see how Phil does it, and they're doing live, and then he's doing replays and shit like that, which is very entertaining if you're watching it. He's probably the most professional. Yeah. Right. In terms of the whole setup, what he's doing, it's amazing, but that's a substantial investment, know.
But let's say somebody gave you 20, 30, 50 grand. Now you want to get some, just like to get the best coverage of the game. You would say one dead center chest.
Yeah.
Another one maybe high above, still center.
Yeah. Down the lines.
And down the line.
If you could, ideally you have a wood wall, and you put a plexiglass hole in it, and you have a shot in there as well.
Okay.
Because
dead center again in the middle of the wall?
Dead center in the middle of the wall, because that's how they do it in Belgium. The Belgian Open, there's a slot for a camera, and it looks awesome with the plexiglass, Now, the shot could be a little bit weird when you hit off there, but the thing is like this big, so, how many people are going to hit it,
Cool.
But yeah, the more the better. I don't have a simple answer for that, but I think the more the better. Again, we haven't reached our potential, so people out there who are watching, and you want to take it to the next level, step it up, get some cameras, that'd be amazing.
You travel a lot, you love handball, you've been doing a lot of things. How have you been able to sustain all this? Like with work-life balance and with your hobby,
Yeah, well, first of all, I was a business owner, so I didn't have PTO and things like that. If I want to go, I go. You know what I mean? So I did that for a long time. And now I'm retired, so I can go wherever the hell I want.
Nice. Like Japan. I can't wait to go to Japan one day.
People want to talk about like financially, how you do it. Hey, man, if
I'm sure you got a family too.
Yeah, I got a family. I prioritize things. I don't drink $8 frappuccinos. You know what I mean? I just don't do it. I don't waste my money on stupid things. Invest your money, people. Invest your money. That's what I do. I'm in stocks and that kind of an investor. So invest your money. If you want to travel a lot, get credit cards with points. You're going to pay your utility bill. You're going to pay your bills anyway. Get them points. Right. And, so that's another way of kind of making it easy. This whole trip cost me $70 to come here for the whole weekend. Damn. The whole weekend total, $70.
Shit.
Flight, hotel, everything, $70.
One last thing, commentary on a game. You do a lot of commentary on the game. You got a great voice. You got a great insight in the game. What's a good, valid way to keep the audience engaged while commentating a game? Do you want to keep talking everything that happens in the game, or do you want to talk once in a while? Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, I don't want to talk all the time because, one, the players can hear you. The players can hear you, and if you're saying something that's critical of them or whatever, they can hear you. So you want to be respectful of that also. But no, I don't want to kill the action, the vibe of the action. You got to know when to kind of get in and out, and it's kind of an art, just to have a sense of it. I think what's important is being informative. Hey, who's playing? What's the score? What just happened? If you're just joining us, this is where we're at. Speaking slowly, speaking clearly, enunciating your words, trying to be as clean as you can. Always say our broadcast is PG-13. because Jay does slip a couple times with some words, but we try to make it PG-13. But I think the most thing is to make it informative and make it fun. You know, when somebody does something amazing, hey man, wow. You know, you ever watch, like, who's your favorite broadcaster when you watch sports? Do you watch basketball or baseball?
Or boxing.
Or boxing, whatever. Like, when they get you hyped, you know, my guy is Gary Cohen from the Mets. So, you know, shout out, let's go Mets. You know, and just like his pace and that kind of thing, you know. Marv Albert was another one I used to love, the pace, right? You know, of the game, you know, when to say something, right? Let the tension build and then know when to say something, things like that, you know. So that's kind of how I do it. It's just like, I've been watching sports for a whole life, 40 something years, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I try to dabble and, you know, take pieces of different people and make it my own.
Not everybody's too great at it because there's only so much you can talk about.
Yeah,
right?
there's only so much to talk about.
Yeah, but it definitely is skill. Yeah. It's an art form. And I mentioned to you, like, I was watching paddleball, and they had two commentators and they were commentating. I was doing other stuff. I was working at the time, so I'm doing my job and I'm listening on the side. And then on my way home, I'm driving and I'm listening on the side. And it kind of kept me really engaged into watching the paddleball game. And I thought, like, we really, really need that for handball at every single event. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I think it's cool too. You know, I think, you know, sometimes even the sound of the ball, you know, just to hear the sound of the ball, you know. But one thing I don't like to do is to, like, you know, be talking about going on some silly tirade, and then there's an amazing rally happening. And you're like, oh shit, I just missed this whole thing. I'm talking about some, you know, nonsensical thing at the point. So again, like, sometimes you know, it is a challenge because there is only so much you can say. You know, sometimes you might mention other things that happen throughout the day and that kind of thing, but don't overdo it. You know, but as far as commentators, hey, I agree with you. I wish there was more. You know, like me personally, again, I have family and I have other things, so there's things going on. And I made several announcements that I was going to retire a while back after the last golden ticket. I told everybody I'm retiring, so it wasn't like it should have came as a shock that I wasn't doing it much more anymore. But, you know, when I do come to a tournament, I still try to at least do something to you know, participate and help, you know, add to the viewer experience for people who can't make it to the games.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right, man. Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
I'm gonna post it up on you.
Thanks for all you for watching. Peace. WallBall worldwide.
Came a long way from US to Europe, my friend. Any ball, any wall, hear him shout, it won't end. Put a cut on that serve.
Yeah, I hope more people get into it, man. So I'm glad you're doing this.